Howdy folks, it's Angel the Hunting Gear Guy, and this is the Vortex Viper 20-60 by 85 spotting scope. It's an angled spotting scope, which means that there's an angly bit over here. And it's right around 1,300 bucks. So in terms of image quality from spotting scopes, the sky's the limit really on price. But I would say like your $400 or $500 ones are really your minimum viable for like optical quality before they start to make sense. And something like this is got better optical quality than that, of course. A couple of interesting features on this spotting scope. Let's get into it. Just starting at the rear of the spotting scope right now, we've got these twist up eye cups that make it quite easy to get the right kind of eye distance or eye relief from the eyepiece. If you're running safety glasses, you just run it all the way in and you just kind of like get kind of close to it. And then we have our magnification ring right here. Nice and smooth. Listen to that. Well, maybe a little bit gritty because maybe there's a little bit of sand on it, but pretty smooth all in all. And we'll go from all the way from 60 all the way down to 20 magnification. In the middle, we have a nice, really big focus ring here. This makes it quite easy to hit focus. When you've got this much magnification, your depth of focus, I guess, that you can actually hit is pretty small. So getting it nailed is really hard. With a smaller focus ring or like a dial or something like that, it's kind of hard. With a nice big chunky one like this, it's quite a bit easier. You can also get a lot more purchase on this one and make those really small fine-tuned movements. So really nice there. On the bottom of it, we have this collar here. We've got this will allow you to loosen it so you can turn it. So if you want to mount it, say close to the ground and have it kind of angled towards yourself, you could do that. Or you could angle it up, or I don't know, maybe you could angle it like that. I don't really know what kind of position you'd be in to need to do that, but most often you'll just have it straight up and down. And then we can just turn that back down. Now the shoe itself is special in its own way as well. We've got a 1/2x20 screw right there, so that's your standard camera mount. But then, look at these dovetails on here. You see that? That is actually an Arca rail, which a lot of photography equipment uses. So Arca bipod, or sorry, holy crap, Arca tripod. Ugh. I'm not going to try saying that 3 times fast. Clamps right on there. You can see it clamps on. Quick dial in. A lot of these things will have like a click, like a lever or something like that to get them on there. And now you're securely on. So that's faster than using that fiddly little screw. Usually if you get those little screw things, you have to like crank them down from the bottom. And with something this heavy on there, they're not great. So that's why the Arca is a better system. It also allows for some adjustment back and forth. That matters more on like a PRS rifle than it does on a spotting scope, but you can clamp down on that guy and get it on there really quickly and really securely. Finally, coming towards the front here, it does have a pull-out sunshade. So if you're looking close to the sun's coming in from the top and you had this thing all the way back, it gets into the glass and it adds a lot of glare. So putting this out will give you a little bit of a sunshade so that you can cover a little bit of that sun and just get a clear picture. Now this is what the spotting scope looks like with the case on, which you're probably going to leave on all the time. It's got kind of like a gel feel to it, so it is going to protect this spotting scope a little bit from damage. And the thing I really like is that it's got these captured, easy to use caps here that just flop open. You still have access to that focus ring from the top and the bottom, so you can still adjust it. Still got access to stuff over here, and you've still got access to the stuff over up front. Now to pull this the shade out, you do need to scooch it back a little bit, but whatever. And when you're done using it, it's super duper easy. Just to flip this stuff back on. Even got like little pull tabs here to just kind of like get everything snug and sealed up on the glass there. So super easy to use, and I think like this is a pretty practical spotting scope for PRS and that kind of thing. So who do I think should get a Vortex Viper HD spotting scope? Well, again, I just did a review of the Bushnell T series, and I would say that this one's actually on loan from Rick from rimfireprecision.ca. So if you want to check out some PRS with your 22 matches, check that out. And this one is used for spotting hits for that kind of a thing. And I think for that kind of thing, it's perfect. This is just the right amount of optical quality. It's got better optical quality than that Bushnell T series, and you can see it in, like, if you go long distance, some of the Bushnell glass will give off like a little bit of a blue tinge, which that kind of chromatic aberration just says like the coatings just aren't as good on the Bushnell. Not so much on this one. So the image quality looks really good, really sharp. I know that there's some more expensive spotting scopes out there that, especially at the higher magnification ranges, might give you a bit better optical quality. I think that you run into some practical limitations at the maximum magnification on this thing. If there's any heat, you get like crazy moire off of the ground. If there's any wind, you're going to start seeing that, which is good if you want to call the wind and that kind of thing. This kind of thing's fantastic. But again, you might not be able to use more optical quality as much as you think you might be able to use. Now, again, my caveat here, if you're into ELR, extreme long range, you might need to spend more on some better glass, on something that's going to give you optical quality even further out at those higher magnification ranges, so you can spot your hits and that kind of a thing. But for the kind of shooting that I do, that I found this thing more than substantial for the kind of shooting I do out to, like, let's say 800 meters. It was fine. Again, Vortex Viper HD 20-60 by 85. Thanks for watching.